Hello friends, my name is Akash Srivastav and I welcome you all to the pilot episode of Bricks of the Wall. Friends, this podcast is being planned to reach out to all those who are working really hard to build strong, innovative and inclusive India. Here, the wall represents the nation which we all of us together are building into stronger day by day. And friends, to do so, we need reliable and robust bricks. We, as creators of this show, are in search of such bricks in the form of bureaucrats, entrepreneurs, innovators, doctors, scholars, farmers, teachers, and everyone else who takes pride in calling themselves as an Indian and are also ready to do their part in nation building process. Respected elders and dear friends, we as a team seek your blessings and good wishes for the work which we have embarked on. Now, without wasting much time, I would like to introduce you all with our first guest who believes that his invention has the capability to be an alternative to stubble burning, may reduce air pollution and can also revolutionize the whole real estate sector. Friends, in our first episode, we are going to discuss the invention of biobricks, the bricks which are made out of agriculture waste, and its inventor, Mr. Priyabrata Rotre, who is pursuing PhD from IIT Hyderabad, will share his struggle and his inspiration behind this invention. Friends, as a host of this show, I promise you all that this interactive session is going to be an informative one, interesting one, and will illuminate the struggle and how one experience can develop an idea, and with the favor of destiny and hard work, it can be turned into an invention which has the capability to revolutionize the whole system. And in this case, it's going to be agriculture sector and maybe real estate sector too. So friends, on behalf of my team, I would request you all to watch the full episode, and if you like it, then please share it with your friends and family so that everyone can know that how Priyabrata Rotre struggled throughout this period to develop something which can help the society in a really positive manner. Now friends, I, Akash Srivastav, would leave you all with the pilot episode of Bricks of the Wall. Thank you. So, hi Priyabrata sir, how are you?
Doing good.
Okay, and thanks a lot, like from personally from my side and on the behalf of my whole team, I would like to express gratitude and thank you for like participating on our like pilot episode of the Bricks of the Wall, and would also like to wish you
Mhm.
happy Ganesh Chaturthi to you and your family before we dive into the subject.
Hello all, and I wish you all a happy Ganesh Chaturthi. So
So,
let's start.
yeah. So, sir, let's dive into the subject directly and get to know like the
Mhm.
reason behind like creating and inventing bio bricks. Because as we have figured it out, like this subject has been very less discussed and it's also very unpopular, like the subject of bricks and the concept of bricks. But you, on the other hand, have created bio bricks, which is an alternative to air pollution, can cure all air pollution and also can be an alternative to stubble burning, which is very widely
Mhm.
discussed and a matter of concern for the for political in political circle also, and in like in it's very popular. So could you please explain us like what was the trigger behind creating these bio bricks?
Right. So this story goes back almost 6 years. It took me almost 6 years in inventing this material. It started around 2014 and 15 when I was in Delhi, and there was this issue that every winter, there will be this rise in air pollution, and which was majorly caused by the stubble burning in the northern plains. And every time there will be a lot of hue, cry, and there will be political discussions. But when it comes to summer, everyone forgets about it. And it was happening. Like I was there in Delhi for last 10 years, and it was a cycle which kept on repeating. So as a designer, as an architect, I thought, can I do something? And can I create something that, some way use this agro waste and make something out of it? So this was the time when I thought, okay, even if I create something, there should be a market for it. And taking my experience from architecture, I know our construction industry is one of the second largest industry in India. So I thought if I can make some construction material or a building material that can be readily used, then there will be a market for whatever I make using this agro waste. And that's how this idea of converting agro waste into a kind of brick was developed. And I slowly started using different agro waste to come up with bricks, because as we know, in India we have a variety of agriculture pattern that happens. And say in northern plains we have wheat and rice, maybe in Odisha side we have rice more, in southern or western side we have cotton plant. So I tried variety of agro waste and tried to create bricks out of it.
Okay. So, sir, in addition to that, I really want to know, like, what was the experience behind creating the first bio brick which you would have created, like after a lot of struggle and challenges. So, would you like to shed some light on that when you created the first bio brick, where it happened, how it all happened, and the struggle behind it?
Right. So again, I'll take you back to 2014-15. I was in Delhi, and this pertaining problem of stubble burning was bugging me, and I was thinking, okay, even if I have to create, how do I start? So I thought of to start with a very small, in-house kind of an environment. So I started, procuring agro waste like sugarcane bagasse and, this wheat husk or the wheat straw. And using a small hand cutting machine, I tried to chop them into small pieces. Then the idea was I should not use any burning process in this making of biobrick, so that to reduce the amount of pollution caused by it. So what I did, I thought if I can mix, different kind of binders which are naturally available. And for this, I thought I will use this, our vernacular architecture. I did some studies and went through research paper, and I found what kind of natural binders which are available locally, and using them I started creating these biobricks. So it took me few I can say years in formulating the composition of the binder.
Okay.
But then yes, the challenge was again to convince people that this is an alternative. So yeah, it took me few years in developing this material.
Okay, so as you're saying that it took you 1 year, close to 1 year, to while formulating the first bio brick. So would you like to explain, during this period of time, like in a parallel world, what else you were doing, like to earn bread and butter, like you were studying or you were doing some kind of a job? So please explain a little bit about that.
Okay, so I did my master's from School of Planning and Architecture, New Delhi, and I was placed in a technical furniture company. After that, working for a few years, I started my own design firm in Delhi, which was R Square Design. And we used to do product design, architecture, interior products and projects. So that was what was giving me my livelihood. During this period of 2014 to 15, I started teaching as an I started teaching product design at different institutions. And this is the period where I felt I can contribute to the society in developing this BioBrick. And that's how this whole project started.
Okay. So now you, like, as we all know that you have created a building like out of a bio brick. So,
Right.
and you also pursuing PhD from IIT Hyderabad now. So
Right.
when did you join IIT Hyderabad, and how you pitched this subject of this idea of BioBreak to the professors of IIT Hyderabad, and how they played an instrumental role behind this?
Right. See, when during these 2014, 15, 16 years, these first few years, this was like my own pet project where I was conducting few experiment in my own capacity, but it was not going into that global scale. I joined IIT Hyderabad to pursue my PhD in August 2017. And as we know, PhD is a research subject. So I got a lot of encouragement from my HOD, Professor Deepak Jan Mathew. He said, okay, let's conduct a few more experiment or research and see how this product develops. So I wrote my first research paper on this topic in 2018-19, which got published in Delft University in ICIT conference 2019. My experience there in Netherlands was very great, and I got a lot of support from the academics from European countries, because there this problem of global warming, sustainable architecture is quite pertinent there. So they encouraged me and say, you should continue this, you should pursue and create something that makes it visible, because unless you create something, people not readily trust on a new material. So that was the period I came back. Few people like my partner Avik Roy joined hands with me. Then we developed few bricks, and we there was an exhibition by Government of India Rural Development Ministry, where we exhibit our product. It was very successful. We got also a trophy for special recognition for sustainable material, and that's how this thing picked up. Then luckily our director Professor B.S. Murthy, he started this new initiative of Build project, in which not only IIT gives space and equipment to come up with products which can be readily be used for the society. Also, they funded us in this initiative. 4 of my products got selected. 3 of them were COVID related, and 1 of it was BioBrick. So I was given all the free hand in using all the resources at IIT Hyderabad. And my initial idea was to develop bricks out of this. But then my professor, we discussed, if we can create a building, then we can set up like an example for people to follow. So we thought, okay, how do we start with? And we thought, okay, we should start small. So we designed and built in-house a simple guard room, and it is India's first completely BioBrick based building. When I say completely, in the sense there are metal structure which takes care of the load, but all the walls along with the roof is made out of this material. So that's how IIT was instrumental in, taking a product which was in a conceptual level to a level where now we have already built and demonstrated this BioBrick building.
Yes, sir. So, sir, as you mentioned, like while you were telling me about how IIT Hyderabad was instrumental, and you mentioned that your other three projects were also selected in the build project, I guess. So,
Yes, yes.
would you like to like tell us about like other your three project, like in a very brief like structure, that what were the other three
Yes.
subject? As you said that it was COVID related projects.
Right.
So, if you can just
So,
tell us a little bit about that.
yes. So, my friend Nivedit De and my professor Deepak John Matthew, we thought of, because COVID was rampant in our country, and we had to do something to reduce the impact of it. So that was the period when our college was slowly going in the reopening mode, and the lockdown was over. So we thought, can I create something which sanitize the incoming parcels or food packet? So I designed a multi-chamber UV sterilization box, which were like 80 numbers, and they were basically to sterilize any incoming food parcel from outside into our campus. And taking this idea further, I designed and built a UVC trolley in which all the utensils like regularly used in our mess will be sterilized before serving to the students. So these are the two, and then I designed along with my friend a air purifying and sterilization product, Swachh Air. So these are the three product, along with designed and built face seals, which are can be made much faster using laser cutter and AutoCAD designs.
Yeah.
So these are the few projects. So, so in this build project, there was two category, either COVID related or socially responsible project. So BioBrick was part of the social responsible project. Yeah. And we got the basic tools and machineries to create these bricks and make this building.
So, sir, after listening to this, I would really like to congratulate you, because your work and the projects which you have been behind sounds really credible and really like revolutionize. It can revolutionize the industry. So, coming back to the BioBricks, the subject of BioBricks, which we are here to discuss, I would like to ask you, if a layman, or for someone who will watch this video, who is watching this video, if he wants to construct something out of BioBricks, like you have created a small hut, like a structure out of BioBricks, if he wants to construct that, then what are the like qualities of BioBricks which he will feel like inside that hut? If someone will like sit or sleep inside that building or a room which is constructed out of BioBricks, then what are the qualities like which he or she will feel? Can you please explain a little bit about that?
Right. So what I have till now I could achieve was, I have done few initial testing in our labs, and found this material to be very good insulator. That means it can protect the inhabitants of the building from hot sun, because most of the heat gain happens through the roof. So if we can put a layer of fabric under the asbestos or thatched roof, it can reduce the temperature by 6 to 7 degrees centigrade, which will make our living condition better. Again, due to its porosity, if we make the houses with the walls and the roofs using this material, it will create a very breathable and livable, dwelling unit. At the same time, going into northern plains or northern part of India, winters are quite severe. Because this material is a good insulator, the nights will be much more comfortable. And apart from that, as we know, agro waste is quite flammable. When once mixed with our binders and let it dry for some days, this material is quite good, I can say a fire retardant material. So as we know, like in India, every summer, at least in Odisha, southern states, one thatched roof, if caught fire, a number of houses get burned due to this fire accident. So our farmers, villager people can use this material to, instead of thatched roof, so that they can reduce fire hazards, which will be it will be very beneficial for low cost housing. And coming to other properties, during my research, I found this material, because it's from agro waste, is quite light in comparison to burnt clay bricks or concrete blocks, which is almost 1/5 of the weight when compared by volume to a burnt clay, and 1/8 compared to a concrete block. So the overall weight in a high-rise building will be greatly reduced if we use this bricks. So in a high-rise apartment, the RCC or the concrete takes the huge amount of money and resources. So if we can have lighter walls, the amount of RCC used in such building can be reduced. So there be a great benefit to the construction industry and builders also.
Okay, so you're saying that it can revolutionize the real estate industry also.
Right. Again, again, I have to say it's infancy, or I can say in this very early stage. We need to create more testing and more case studies to actually see how this material behave over a period of time. Right now, like you said, I am getting a lot of calls, basically from farmers, our friends from northern side, UP, Bihar. They are really interested, but then I'm starting with a bit of caution, because this is a very new material, and we need to do a bit more study to make a prediction and standardize the material, so that there may not be any imperfection when these buildings are made using this material. So currently I can say we are again we need at least another 6 to 8 months to develop this material into a product which can be commercially manufactured by some kind of industry or an agro industry.
So sir, as you just now mentioned that the subject of biobricks needs little bit more study before it is like people starts like using it like on a daily basis. So I want to know, like, what are the aspects which needs to study more in this subject, in the subject of biobricks. Like ऐसी कौन-कौन सी चीजें हैं, like कौन-कौन से like पहलू हैं biobricks के जिन्हें like you need to study more or you are concerned about before you you allow everyone to use it like widely in the society, as you're saying that you're getting calls from farmers and from different sectors of from UP, Bihar and different states. So what is your matter of concern like still which is pertaining in this biobricks?
Okay, there are two aspects when we say of material. One is the consistency. When it comes to consistency, we have to see what kind of binder they are using and what are the constituent element. Like in my initial studies, I have used a few of the agro waste which are generated in India, like wheat straw, rice straw, sugarcane, cotton plant, shrubs. But then the consistency of the binder material along with the agro waste need to be fixed and need to be adhered. Like we have these ratios which are formalized and made as Indian standards, like for a say PCC, or say we say 2:4:3 or 2:4:2. certain ratios are there. So my concern is ki, right now, this year I was fortunate to get the Indian patent for this material, and the patent is say for certain ratios. So uh, the idea is I need to check this ratio for a certain duration to see if there is any aberration or any defects that happens over a period of time, before allowing public to pursue this material and build their own dwelling unit. Again, a bit I can say optimism will be that this project was conceived in a manner I wanted people to build their own houses using a material which is readily available in our agrarian society, without depending on factory or machine made things like steel, concrete, those. So but then as a researcher, I'm taking this matter slowly so that I have more data and concrete evidence saying that this is safer to use in dwelling units.
Okay. So, sir, one thing I want to mention here and want your like a little bit of wisdom also in that, as you have also mentioned that this is going to revolutionize the real estate industry. And as we all know, and it is very widely said that the real estate industry is money driven industry. So what do you think, like how biobricks would be, it is going to be cheaper than the bricks which exist right now, or it will be equivalent, like its price it's going to be equivalent? What kind of a ratio will be there in monetary
Right.
terms?
Right. So, in all my experience of last 5-6 years with this material, I find BioBrick to be cost effective in a manner like say a red clay brick of certain volume, say 9 inch by 5 inch or 4.5 inch by 3 inch brick size costs anywhere around between 8 to 10 rupees, depending on the location. Uh, if this material is built at site, say in an agrarian society, will be as low as 3 to 4 rupees. So it is almost like 1/3 kind of a ratio in terms of price. But apart from that, one of the other main benefit is, see, agrarian society is like a cycle. There is a season for sowing, then there is a growth period, and then there is a harvest, and then there is a lean period where farmers need to look for jobs or some kind of employment, or those period where there is no other activity. So my idea was, if this waste can be used to convert and make into some kind of bricks, then these villagers, they don't need to migrate to cities for jobs. So it will create a microeconomy at the grassroots level, giving them employment, and it will generate revenue, because uh, in the off season they can use this agro waste and these binders, and it will be great if they can build their own dwelling units, say schools or community centers. So this kind of cycle will reduce the impact of migration, and also will give some value to these farmers.
So, sir, as you are suggesting that these biobricks can also create jobs for farmers who seek like employment in a certain period of time. So, have you thought about like marketing these biobricks to the rural areas, like how you and along with IIT Hyderabad, because as you earlier mentioned that IIT Hyderabad has played a very instrumental role in this subject in your pilot project. So, have you like sit with your professors and bright-minded people in IIT Hyderabad, and have you planned like how you're going to marketize this subject, this product, and with also with the help of government? Like we haven't talked
Right.
about how like what kind of assistance you got from the government, like from the administration? Would you like to tell us something about, like, if you haven't got any kind of assistance from the government so far or not, or you are planning to like present the like this product in front of government, anything would like that?
Okay. See, in terms of government, as I mentioned earlier, we got this award, which was a national award, a special recognition for developing sustainable material. Though there was no monetary help as such, the award itself gave a lot of visibility to this material. I got tweets from, say, the Central Education Ministry and few other people in government who appreciated and wish this success to this kind of research. As far as IIT is concerned, our director sir is quite proactive, and he is working with our professor to send our project proposal to the Central Agriculture Ministry, because again, because it's a building material, and again it involves agriculture, urban development, construction. So currently we are trying to pursue it with the Agriculture Ministry, because we need some kind of test beds, if I may say, like say we need to build at least a sample house, say in Punjab, one in Haryana, one in UP, one in Bihar, because India, if we see, climate wise, is very different in very different regions. So we need to see how this material behaves, and will it last the way it lasts in some other region compared to another place. So my wish for any assistant will be to create this kind of environment where not only me, but then other researcher, they can take up this job and create one of such buildings, and let it say stay for a year or so to see how it behaves, what are the effect of weather, different climatic conditions, before giving it back to the society, and asking for a large scale deployment of such material. But on an other hand, I can say, if we can do this on a larger scale, we can not only reduce the amount of air pollution caused by stubble burning, but also will reduce soil degradation. See, any clay brick generally uses the top soil. So there is again a huge loss of soil in anywhere. If you see there is a brick industry, the topsoil degrades very fast. Second, this brick industry produces a lot of again air pollution, because they burn either wood or coal. That can also be reduced through this process. So the idea is, one, the amount of carbon dioxide that is captured by this plant during their growth period is now stored and locked in these bricks. Unless and until you wish to destroy the building, that much of carbon dioxide is locked. Second, you reduce soil degradation and more air pollution caused by brick industry. So it's a very good, I can say through my research, it's a carbon negative material. That is, the amount of carbon dioxide is much lower than the amount of carbon dioxide captured in this material.
Cool, sir. So, sir, like I want to know, like as you have invented BioBricks, now you're also presenting this subject to different like walks of the society, to different people. Now you also have a patent now. So, do you like feel like an entrepreneur now? Like, do you want to do you aspire to become an entrepreneur and have your own company, which where you can present this BioBricks as a important tool, like for real estate industry, and then for agriculture industry also, where you can revolutionize the farm sector, agriculture sector, and real estate sector, as well as like in a parallel world.
Right, right. So, like with God's grace, I have already two startup which are already funded by Government of India.
Okay.
BIRAC, that is, and one is funded by IKP Eden, Bangalore. So these are again, I'll not go into details. These are, one is into the medical field and one is into fire and rescue services. This BioBrick, I knew because I knew it will take some time, because again, it was not a pure product design kind of a thing, but then I was trying to create a new material. So right now, with all this development and my PhD going parallel to it, I am trying to concentrate and create this material in a manner that it satisfies the needs and wants of the users. And now that we have got our patent, Indian patent, like there are few offers when this there are few industrialists who have already come up and share their interest to start this industry. So in terms of startup, yes, I would love, because anything we can contribute to the society, that will be the good way of showing how research can play an important role, for the betterment of the society. So I am in all favor of starting an enterprise, but then currently, like I said, I am in my final year of PhD. So my first aim is to complete my research with all the force and good grace. So once that is done, I would seek out and find avenues through which we can really commercialize this product and come up with some solution.
So Privartha, tell us something like about, as you told us about your journey with BioBricks and being in IIT Hyderabad, how it has changed your life. Would you tell like our viewers any like something about your background, like from where you belong to, about your family, what kind of like childhood you had, due to which it inspired you like to invent something like which can be so helpful and so like innovative in the society. So tell us something about like your life before IIT Hyderabad, what you did, your graduation, your studies, and from which state you belong to, something about your family.
Right. Okay. I am from a very humble, middle class family. I belong to the state of Odisha. I lived most of my life, childhood, in the capital city of Bhubaneswar. My father was an executive engineer in mechanical department, and my mother was professor in mathematics. I have an elder sister. So all my childhood I spent in DAV public school in Bhubaneswar. After my plus two, I did my bachelor in architecture from CET Bhubaneswar, and I had a GATE scholarship, through which I joined School of Planning and Architecture, New Delhi, where I did my master's in product design. And once I completed my master's, I got into jobs, which was a technical furniture company. So this journey of me from my childhood, I can say one of my inspiration was my father, who was an engineer by background, and this small small activity of creating, products, like building a toy windmill, or say a solar cooker. So he used to, push me to create my own small, projects, like school projects. So during all my school days, I used to get busy. I love the science exhibitions and create stuff. So that was, I can say it was one of area which always kept me, pushing me to create something new. And once I completed my masters, and it opened up new chapter, in the sense I got a lot of exposure, because when I say I did my architecture again, as I say, I belong to state of Orissa. The amount of exposure was limited, but once I was in Delhi, I got to know about more of societal issues, uh, the economy, the how the market works. And if, like in case of BioBrick, I thought of creating some utility product, but then I thought, instead of making some artifact, I have to create something that has economy value, or a demand for it. If there was no demand, then even if I created a beautiful product, it will not be successful. So those 10 years in Delhi gave me a lot of perspective, and I got very inspiring professors in SPA who inspired, and gave a lot of positive ideas in how you can build you know a positive outlook. Because I can give you a small anecdote. When I was developing this BioBrick, people used to tease me, like saying, "Ye to bhusa man aa gaya." It's like every day he's carrying some agro waste, which was bhusa in the local language, and he's carrying a bag full of sugarcane bagas or straws to his house, and doing what, so you know that keeping a positive attitude about life was one area that helped me a lot in developing this material, I can say.
You know what, Privrata, like from your like this story of your own, I can recall two of my own thoughts, which I really felt very deeply in my life. Is that when you said that in Bhubaneswar you felt little bit of lack of opportunities, but when you came in Delhi you felt a lot of positivity and opportunity. So what I felt like being in Delhi and working here is that people often say that about Mumbai, that it's a land of dream, it's a land of like ambitions. But what I feel like about Delhi is that it's a land of opportunities. When people come to Delhi, it like opens door for lot of opportunities. People here, like, they hustle, they move from one place to another, but it like open doors for their own. They get wisdom, they get self understanding, they're able to understand themselves. And then second thought which I can recall is that, as you said, that like some of your, like maybe your classmates or your friends used to make fun of you when they got to know about that you're working on BioBricks. So is that I often say that to prove your own worth, you sometimes you need to like make fool of yourself, like to prove your own worth. Like,
True.
if you can relate to this.
Yeah, it's true. See, I can say India is in a very in a state of transition. Uh, what has happened because see what has happened, we got our independence, and then a lot of stresses was given on study, find a job and get settled.
Yeah.
So we fall into a rat race kind of an environment. So like you say, Bombay or Delhi, in that case also, economy well-being was one aspect which everyone sought after. But then once you get into a level where you are satisfied, say economically, society, you can think of doing something which even if so when you said you have to make a fool out of yourself, if you say I was not in that position, economically, societally, or emotionally, I
True.
would have have fears in taking such endeavors. So I think India is in at a very great stage where we are quite stable
Definitely.
politically, economically, and and at this stage, basically the youth have a lot of crazy idea.
Yeah.
Sometimes they succeed, sometimes they don't. But if we can work on it, like it took me almost 6 years. I started around say 2014, 15. Now it is 2021. I demonstrated the building. I got patent, few hours, two research papers, maybe few calls from industries to work with them. But it is about giving yourself that time. Sometimes we get disheartened very fast, in the sense, if we met with some failure, we try to let go and stick to whatever is conventional, like going to an office, doing job. Like you are doing a podcast, which is great, but then if you don't, then my story would have been left here. So if we can do something out of the box,
Seriously.
there are a lot of opportunities, and I think we can grab them with both hands. Yeah.
Definitely. I would like to add here something, as you said, that it's very important to take that bashing from others on your chin, on your chest, because then only you realize that what you are capable of doing and what you can achieve. Like if you're able to overcome that bashing, that mockery, which you like sometimes, which you all we all have felt that, like we all have started from the scratch
Right.
and we all
Right.
have felt that, like in all our journey. So it's very important, like if you have
Right.
overcome that part, then it really opens door for like opportunities, for like it gets really bright, like your, maybe it could be your future, maybe it could be economic terms, or like you can achieve your dreams. But basics are very important, that you need to follow your idea. You need to be very stubborn with that. You can't like focus on that bashing and that mockery which you feel all along.
See, every journey, like we all are individuals. We will have our own stories, and every story will have a starting, and that is the initial phase, the hardest phase. Like because people will ask a lot of questions, you will not have those answers, and you will have these self doubts. Will I able to do it? Will I able to achieve certain things? And again, like I said, our previous generation, we were not that lucky enough to have that kind of economic stability. So
True.
every time there will be thought, okay, if I dedicated so much of time, will I able to survive? But at this juncture, we can say, okay, we can dedicate a few of our years to pursue certain things,
Definitely.
and that's how this innovation, and I can say, like I have been like I said, I have two startups in India, and I have been associated with few startup circles and environment, and I see there are a huge pool of people
Potential.
throughout India, of different age groups, who are doing innovative and very thought-provoking projects.
True.
And once you become mature enough to tap into those resources, you will see, you will get a lot of funding, lot of encouragement. But then yes, like you said, we have to take those initial stages, that self-doubt, a mockery, or you have to persevere and cross that juncture of your life. And once you cross it, you can always laugh about it, and you can
Obviously.
joke about it, but then you'll have all of goodness, and you can really create something good.
True. So, Pribrata, at the end of this interactive session, I just want to know how your family, your friends feel when you now when you share with them, and when they get to know that you have created something which can empower the society in a different aspect, in terms of subject which is not very widely popular, but it plays a vital role in our society. So how do they feel? And please also tell our viewers that, are you married or a bachelor? Do you have family? You're
Yeah,
married or bachelor?
yeah, yeah. Again, it all started I got married in 2015,
Congratulations.
and thank you. And during this 6 period, I have my spouse who is totally into supporting me in all my endeavor. You can imagine, like, when you are married, and I was doing many things. I was juggling around my own startup, or you can say my design firm. I was teaching, and all of a sudden I decided, okay, instead of right now considered on as an academician, so I should continue my own study. So I left everything and started my own journey in PhD, and she supported me in all the aspect. Nonetheless, it was you need to have right kind of support and environment to do such kind of thing, and I'm
True.
happy. I have a very supportive family. In terms, I had like, I lost my father last year, but then I know he'll be very proud when he
Indeed.
sees
Yeah.
all the, yeah, because of this COVID pandemic. That was an unfortunate incident, but then I know he would have been really inspired and happy to see what I have done over the time. My sister, she has encouraged, and she knows me because we are siblings. So whenever there was this self doubt, or uh, some kind of ridicule that creeps on with certain kind of environment and juncture, she was there as this pillar, giving me a lot of encouragement and that power to keep going. My mother, again, she is like a pillar. She has endured a lot of things from her childhood and all. But then coming to my friends, yeah, they, actually they are really proud, in the sense, uh, everyone is very well to do and they are settled, but they are all in that life where they are doing some work or a job. We know what is job is like, you are confined to what others are asking you to do. So they really feel inspired when you break these societal norms
Yeah.
of being an employed or in a service sector, and uh, make time to create something new which are helpful. So I got a lot of uh, great wishes and congratulatory messages from my friends, my teachers, from my teachers in schools. Those are the guys who have seen you throughout your life. So getting appreciation from such people is great. Again, there are a few others who will always pull you down, but then again, it's a life, so you have to take all the aspects and all the comments and scrutinies by others and keep going. So yeah, that was the whole aspect of building this BioBrick. Yeah.
So, Privrata, my last question to you is that, what is your message to all those who will watch this video and who wants to use BioBricks in future, and like, and how you're like planning to like bring this BioBricks, your product, in a mainstream market of real estate, and like what is your plan?
Okay, like I can say I have a two distinct plan. One, through your videos and other mediums, I would like to encourage our farmers really to take up this material, because it's a case of turning a waste into wealth. And in during this process, we save a lot of air pollution, we save a lot of our fertile soil. So I'll encourage, and I'll appreciate if government of India give incentives in propagating this material in Indian rural villages. Again, just an point. India, government of India set a target of dwelling units for all by say 2025 or 2030. So we need a huge amount of building material to build houses for living. So if people can use this material to build their own houses, so the dependency on industrial manufacture products and government will reduce drastically. Second, from a commercial perspective, like I said, I need at least another 5 to 6 months to concretize and finalize the composition. I would love to create a kind of what Amul did in Gujarat. Instead of creating a huge industry, say again in Delhi or Noida, Gurgaon, wherever, I would love to distribute this technology to grassroots levels, where it will be like a cooperative industry, where the rural people get employment, and whatever the bricks are made is locally consumed. So say, like say, if Noida needs X amount of bricks, so the villages around say Noida will create these bricks, and they will supply to whatever construction industry that is there in Noida. So for, if I say right now I'm in Hyderabad, I don't want again to use this shipping, because that again takes a lot of energy, cause a lot of pollution. So I don't want like a centralized production unit. Rather than I'll have to, or I wish we'll have a distributed production units, so that these small units supply material to the locality and local needs. So that's how I have envisioned this material to grow. But then I wish and pray there will be good grace that we achieve certain, depth in providing this material to the society.
I said that it was my last question, but I would like to add one more thing here, is that what is your message to the investors, like who wants to invest in this subject and who feels that this has a huge potential in the market, like in the coming future, as you also, I feel like you also believe in the same stuff. So what is your message to the investors?
Okay, to any future investor or collaborator, the message is simple. We have created and demonstrated a material which is sustainable, eco-friendly, low cost, and it's a local material made in India, and the amount of benefit is quite high when compared to other construction materials. So if we can pursue this with investment or collaboration, if we can take this material to a larger segment, then the benefits will be multifold and will have a very good say financial you can gain from any investment. But then again, we need to do all our research before starting up of any industry. Like I said, we need to see how this material can be made into a product which can be readily accepted in any construction industry. So those are the final points one needs to take care. But then, yes, again, my appeal will be, if we are investing, there is a rich benefit, but then we have to, take it slowly and give time for this material to mature and get accepted. Again, that is one major factor, but people have to accept it before even we think of commercializing it. So people have to have faith, yes, if I make something, this will stay and give some kind of, say, thermal comfort, or say in terms of money savings. But then those things need to be proved in a our society before taking this into a full scale production.
Cool. So, Priyabrata, on that note, I would like to conclude this interactive session. And I guess like we have touched all the aspects of BioBricks and also your own life, the struggle, the challenges. And I would wish you all the very best with your all the endeavors which you are like associated with your future plans, and also with BioBricks. And I really hope
Right.
and wish that your message with this podcast reaches to the maximum people, with to the investors also, to the buyers also, the customers also, and to the farmers and to the industrialists which are in the like urban cities. And so I would really like to thank you like for taking your time and participating in the pilot episode of the Bricks of the Wall. And I know that we are shooting this at very odd hours. It's 2300 hours right now. It's the first day of Ganesh Chaturthi. So I wish you all the luck, Priyavrata, and to your family also with your projects, and also to IIT Hyderabad, like for like cooperating with you, for taking your idea to as their main project, and to the Dean of IIT Hyderabad, to the HOD of Department of Design, and to your team members. So would you like to say anything, like your last message?
Akash,
Your voice is not
I
audible.
like to repay your, of such mediums of. Hello.
Yeah, now you're clear.
Yeah, yeah. So, Akash, I would like to, repay your all your gratitude, and with lot of thanks, and I'll say, wish you all the very best
Thank you.
for your podcast. I wish you, find such new entrepreneurs and people who are working in these fields, and give them a platform to share their own stories and messages.
Yeah.
The last, I'd like to conclude with a vote of thanks to all the people who are engaged in my project. I'll start with my HOD, Professor Deepak Jain Matthew, Vivek, and Jagdish, our technicians, staff from IIT Hyderabad, my friend Avik Roy, Nivedi De, with his firm, I have got the patent for this project, and my family, they have been a great support throughout this period, and all the well-wishers who have wished to success of this material, and I hope we'll see this material in near future, and I have a feeling, if our farmers take up and accept this material, we'll have a real good material which is made in India, and cost effective and sustainable. And with that, I'll like to conclude. Thank you so much.
Thank you, Priyavrata, for like taking your time and participating on the pilot episode of Bricks of the Wall. And now this is like my message to the viewers, like who will watch this episode, and in future who are watching this episode. Like my name is Akash Srivastav. I'm 25-year old, and we are like I'm shooting this from Noida. So I would just like to make a request to all of you that Bricks of the Wall, the idea behind creating this podcast is to reach out to all those like inventors, entrepreneurs, bureaucrats, and people in the administration, sportsmen, anyone from all walks of the society who are contributing more than ever towards the nation building process and positively. Definitely, like contribution does not matter, but contributing in a very positive term matters a lot. So we will try our real best to reach out to such people and bring some really cool, interesting, innovative ideas and stories for all of you. So if you like this interactive session with Privrata Rothre, so please like the video, subscribe our channel, and if you have any like suggestions and something, so please you can drop a message on the comment box. So thank you very much. So shall we conclude this session, Privrata? Because I know it's
Sure.
it's more than 2300 hours
Yeah.
right now, and
So
your family must be waiting for you to get back to have a dinner and all. So thanks for your time, Privrata,
yeah,
and
thank you, Akash. You have a good night
same
and
to you.
all the best for your future endeavor. Thank
Thank you
you.
so very much. So bye bye, take care.
Bye.